It's Friday, April 25th, 2025. Welcome to episode 151 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Bueller. In this edition of the Postcast, a lawsuit dismissed, a sad sight on Easter morning. Make your voice heard on transportation issues, from slow streets to greenways, an F-18's final journey, a potentially life-saving drug now available easily and affordably. APD welcomes a great bit of history, weekend events, a Bay Area inspiration for runners of all ages, and a shout-out to Admiral Maltings. These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story, the case that launched 1,000 memes. On Tuesday, 6 months after it was introduced, Alameda County Superior Court dismissed a lawsuit brought against Alameda Food Bank and the city of Alameda that challenged project approvals the food bank received to construct its new facility at Alameda Point. As we reported back in episode 121 in September, Todd Hickman, the owner of Building 43 Winery, and co-plaintiff Shelby Sheehan filed a lawsuit alleging that the city improperly exempted the project from full California Environmental Quality Act review. This was the case that introduced the term historic parking lot into the Alameda lexicon. The wheels of justice may grind slowly, but they do make progress. After the lawsuit was filed in September, the city and the Alameda Food Bank filed a motion to have the suit dismissed. Oral arguments were heard in January. On Tuesday, Judge Michael Markman of the Alameda County Superior Court granted the motion in the city's and AFB's favor and disposed of all of the petitioner's claims. As reported by the San Francisco Chronicle, Judge Markman said that the lawsuit was invalid because Hickman and Sheehan had never filed an appeal when the Alameda Planning Commission approved the project, therefore failing to meet the responsibility of exhausting all administrative remedies. The city of Alameda posted a press release on Wednesday afternoon about the dismissal, including a statement from City Attorney Yiben Shen, quote, "We applaud the court's decision, which allows the food bank to move into its forever home and continue to carry out its critical mission of bringing food security to all Alamedans, and we truly appreciate the food bank's partnership during this legal process. This positive outcome demonstrates the city's unwavering commitment to support our community partners and fight back against abusive and wasteful litigation threats." End quote. The food bank's future home, directly across the street from its current facility at Alameda Point, repurposes an existing building, includes a new food storage warehouse, and provides parking for both food bank patrons and surrounding businesses. The facility is designed to provide food and related services to Alamedans who are experiencing food insecurity, a number that includes about 10% of Alameda's population. For further details, including information on how you can lend a hand as the food bank prepares for the new facility, see alamedapost.com/news. A sad sight greeted beachgoers on Easter Sunday and soon went viral on social media. The body of a 43-foot-long female gray whale washed ashore at Crown Beach. The carcass had initially been reported on Thursday the 17th against the rock wall near the USS Hornet. On Good Friday, researchers from the Marine Mammal Center were able to take tissue samples. By Sunday, tides and currents had moved the animal to where it was discovered along the South Shore. The California Academy of Sciences and East Bay Regional Parks were able to arrange for the whale to be towed Monday afternoon by a private towing service to Angel Island State Park for a future necropsy. Necropsy is the term applied to an autopsy performed on an animal. We'll provide updates when the cause of death is determined. Last year around this time, another deceased gray whale in the area was found to have been killed by a ship strike. For details, see Kelsey Gore's article at alamedapost.com/news. The article does contain pictures. While they are not bloody or gory, the subject matter may be upsetting to some. Would you like to share your thoughts on local transportation services? Alameda District 3 Supervisor Lena Tam invites you to serve on the Alameda County Transportation Commission Advisory and Watchdog Committees. Currently, local residents are encouraged to join one of these three committees: the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee, which involves policy, planning, and implementation efforts related to bicycling and walking, with the goal of increasing the safety and convenience of both; the Independent Watchdog Committee, which ensures Measure B and Measure BB tax dollars are improving transportation in Alameda County; and the Paratransit Advisory and Planning Committee, which makes recommendations to improve the planning and coordination of transportation services for seniors and people with disabilities. To qualify, you must either live or work in District 3, which includes residents of Alameda, Oakland's Jack London Square, Chinatown, Clinton, San Antonio, and Fruitvale neighborhoods, as well as San Leandro, San Lorenzo, and Hayward Acres. Find application packets and contact information at alamedapost.com/news. Please note the deadline to apply is Wednesday, April 30th. On the subject of getting around, neighbors stopped by 2 pop-up activity stations on Saturday the 19th to learn about and provide input for the neighborhood greenways, slated for implementation along San Jose Avenue and Versailles Avenue by 2026. That's Versailles if you're from out of town. City of Alameda transportation staff joined consultants from Tool Design on San Jose near St. Joseph and Versailles Avenue near Edison Elementary to present draft conceptual design plans for both corridors. To achieve these goals along San Jose Avenue between Morton and Oak and Versailles between Fernside and Calhoun, a series of traffic calming interventions are proposed to discourage speeding and improve pedestrian safety by shortening crossing distances and improving visibility at intersections. The draft concept plans propose a mix of curb extensions, traffic circles, and flashing beacons at intersections along both corridors, as well as speed humps on the straightaways of longer blocks. You can take a look at the proposed plans, find out what your neighbors had to say, and submit your input via the links in Ken Durr's article at alamedapost.com/news. For the first time in 15 years, the USS Hornet has added a new plane to their collection. A retired FA-18C Hornet is on semi-permanent loan from the Pensacola Naval Air Station. While the aircraft was donated, it took a bit of ingenuity and fundraising to bring the Hornet to the Hornet. This particular bird saw action in the Gulf War, where it was piloted by Captain Nick Mongo Mongillo. In a 1991 dogfight over Iraq, Captain Mongillo engaged in a dogfight, successfully shooting down an Iraqi MiG-2. Russell Moore, Chief Experience Officer of the USS Hornet, told the Post that they were able to partner with Travis Air Force Base in Fairfield. The Travis crew transported the FA-18C from Pensacola to Oakland Airport as part of a training mission. The fighter jet was taken apart and flown over in a C-5 Galaxy cargo transport. The USS Hornet also had to fundraise to hire Worldwide Aircraft, a company that specializes in airplane transport, to have them take apart and reassemble the fighter jet, transport it from Oakland Airport to the USS Hornet, and then operate the giant crane that lifted the jet onto the flight deck. One of the best photos of the transport was taken by the folks at Pacific Pinball Museum as the partially assembled craft was trucked down Webster Street. Just another day in Alameda. This Saturday, April 26th, the USS Hornet will host an all-day unveiling event for the new edition that will also honor the docents who led the fundraising effort. On Saturday, May 10th, from 1 to 2, the USS Hornet will welcome Captain Mongillo, who will speak about his experience during Operation Desert Storm. Details and pictures in Gene Chen's article at alamedapost.com/news. You're probably familiar with naloxone, the generic name for Narcan, the drug that can reverse a potentially fatal opioid overdose. The life-saving nasal spray was previously only available to government organizations and businesses. Now, thanks in part to Governor Newsom's CalRx effort, naloxone is available to any Californian via online order for $24 plus shipping, about half the market price. Naloxone is comparatively easy to administer. I've been through some training myself. The best part is if you administer to someone who has not taken an opioid overdose, there are no ill effects. Kristen Huang of CalMatters has the details and an ordering link at alamedapost.com/news. A great bit of history this past week from Alameda PD. On Saturday, the police department welcomed the descendants of Sergeant Theodore Anderson, who served the city from 1893 until his retirement in 1930. Patricia Paul and Gordon Schaefer donated their grandfather's uniform, which is proudly displayed at the department. Find pictures of the occasion and the vintage uniform on APD's Facebook page. As usual, lots going on this weekend. In addition to the previously mentioned event at the Hornet, you'll find a road race, cultural events, and a bike workshop in Amanda Laird's All Around Alameda column at alamedapost.com/alameda-life. Sunday, check out our latest walking history tour, Bay Farm Part 2. Find out what happened to 7 World War I destroyers and a proposed development called Alameda Acres. Join Dennis Evanosky and Adam Gillett Sunday at 10 a.m. Details, tickets, and background articles at alamedapost.com/tours. Other events. 4th Saturday means the Myers House open for tours. Grease closes this weekend at the Altarena Playhouse, but at last check, all remaining shows were sold out. If you've been missing the Alameda Comedy Club, check out Laughs on Tap at Faction Saturday night. More events at 94501.info. A Bay Area runner provides some great inspiration as we head out. Patty Hung of Orinda, California, finished the Boston Marathon this past Monday. Yeah, lots of people run marathons, but Patty is 79 and just added to her record, completing her 39th consecutive Boston Marathon. Find Patty's story at ktvu.com. A quick shout out and thank you to the crew at The Rake at Admiral Maltings. Celebrated my wife's birthday there this past weekend. Great folks to work with and a truly underappreciated gem here in Alameda. If you've never been, check them out. Thanks for your support of local news for Alameda. Show your support by heading to alamedapost.com/donate. Remember, find us on Facebook, Instagram, MSN, YouTube, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, as well as our own subreddit. Subscribe to our channel on Apple News and look for us on Nextdoor. Find the Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or simply tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. I'm Scott Peeler. I'll be back next Friday with episode 152 of the Alameda Postcast.